AM community. We're here at Rapid 2019, day 2 of exhibits. My name is Ashley Toten, and today I have with me Rick Pollack with MakerGear. So we're going to start off, and I would love to learn how you got started, where you were and where you are today and where you're going. So take it away.
So 10 years ago, right now, I was in my garage making parts for people that were making their own 3D printers. That was the beginning of desktop 3D printing. And to celebrate our 10th anniversary, here's some cake for you.
Happy 10 years!
So that's how we started. It was MakerGear and MakerBot. And MakerBot came out with their Cupcake CNC, which is a plywood 3D printer. And I bought one, and I couldn't get it to work. So I started making extruders, and they worked, and people started buying them from me. And MakerGear started in my garage and grew out of my garage. Basically, it's first fixing MakerBots, and then after that, offering our own machines.
That's
how we started.
Oh my gosh.
And 10 years ago, or maybe 6 years ago, I did my first Rapid in Pittsburgh, and it was maybe the 10th of the size of what we have. This is just a big show now. I mean, really, it's incredible how much this industry's just exploded.
Over 400 exhibitors.
It's big.
It's unbelievable.
It's big.
That's amazing. So I stopped by your booth today, and I saw your newest machine, and it has 2 extruder heads. And I would love you to tell them about what it's capable of doing.
Our newest machine is the MakerGear Ultra One, and we announced it at IMTS last year, started shipping this year. Has a 16 by 14 by 13 build volume, dual independent heads, fully enclosed, weighs 165 pounds, and so, it's a serious. It's our foray into industrial 3D printing. We've had the M3. We launched the M2 in 2012, and the M3 in 2017. And now those are what we call professional machines, and the Ultra One is our first industrial 3D printer.
That's awesome. So it can print 2 parts at the same time, right?
It can print 2 parts at the same time. We call that duplication mode or mimeo mode. But the great thing about what's really nice about it is it can have a primary material and multiple materials. So you can have a primary material and support material, or 2 different types of hard and soft material, or different colors. Being able to print 2 parts together at the same time is nice. If you want to print one part a lot, it speeds it up. But having the ability to do multiple materials is the real value to our customers.
That's awesome. So I see you have some parts.
I'm covering the trifecta of 3D printing. I've got the fun parts.
That's awesome.
I've got the production parts, and I've got prototyping. So we've got a customer. There is a dental lab. And so you go to the dentist, and so rather than putting goop in your mouth, they'll scan your jaw, send that to the lab. The lab has dozens of our machines, and they will print your teeth. And I guess I should have brought a sample of the actual work itself, but they will do the work on the printed teeth, or if it's high temperature work, they'll make a mold off the printed teeth. But no longer do they do any goop. You scan, send it to the lab, work gets done, send it back to the dentist.
That's awesome. No more goop.
No more goop. Exactly. So, and then this is a helmet. It's a prototype of a hockey helmet. This was printed, sanded, and painted. So you've got prototyping, production, and fun.
That's a great trifecta. So what does the future of MakerGear look like?
The future of MakerGear is we're going to be doing more in the industrial space. The Ultra One is a big machine. Spent a year in development, so we'll be working on improving the Ultra One, making upgrades to that, going into higher temperature materials, really focusing on industrial and production, the industrial and production side of 3D printing. Because that's really, companies, it took several years for companies to realize that these machines are not toys, that they're serious tools that can be used. And now that they understand that, there's a lot more interest in production 3D printing. And we see that as a big growth area for us.
Yeah, no, that's great. You also mentioned that you have done some work with the Navy. Could you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we know that the Navy is very active. The Navy and Marines are very active in additive manufacturing. They've purchased quite a few machines from us. They put them in their simulators, and they take them out in the sea, and basically they're testing them to see how well they perform under, basically in a difficult environment. So we've just been working on them to optimize our machines to be able to operate in that environment. One more thing I'd like to add is we're also focusing on industrial, but education is a big part of our market. So we will also continue to be focusing on providing, machines for high schools and universities.
Oh, that's huge.
It's a huge part of our market.
Yeah, that's great. So you do a lot of work with
That's a big chunk of our business. Is education.
That's so important.
And we very much enjoy that. And the other fun thing is, at shows like this, people come up to us and say, "Hey, I've got a M2 that I bought as a kid in 2012 or 2013. I started my business based on that, or I'm still using it, or I've been upgrading it since." It's just very cool to have customers after all these years. And even, it's a funny thing is, even had a couple competitors come up to me and say, I used to buy parts from you, before we started, and thank you for that. So it's just, so 10 years is really, it's amazing that it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
And the way how much the industry has changed over the last decade.
That's amazing. I can't wait to see what the next 10 years looks like.
Likewise, it's going to be interesting.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that. Enjoy your cake.
Thank you.
And we'll have another cake in 10 years. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.